Bit gutted. Practical Sports Bikes magazine, final issue. Proper gutted. It's a proper good magazine. It's the best way to tell you how to waste all your money. Anyway, on with some work. Eeny, meeny, miny, Mo, and this one called Mo is the fourth and final swing arm that's going to be going on this bike. It's been a good few months of fiddling around, but this is the 2004-2005 ZX10r swing arm. I'm going to do a bit of a comparison now with the original. It's now been put back in. Oh, these boxes everywhere, look. Yeah, that's the original 9R swing arm there. Let's get them both on the table and measure them up. Right then, let's get this straight. A bit of a comparison between the swing arms, the original and the one we're going to fit. First one, I'm going to start with the dimensions from the pivot to the rear spindle and then the width way, so we can see how they all measure up, I guess. 258 on the original. 257 on the 10R, so it's 1 millimeter shorter. So also I've noticed that the original spindle, which is this, it fits through here. It's the same dimensions, so it shouldn't be a problem to use the original. I'm just going to have to try and swap out the spaces really that fit in between. So I guess it's just a case of swapping out the spacer on the end, because this one's got a larger one. Although I do have a spare one which is a bit smaller. I don't know if you can see. So this kind of large spacer goes into the end of the 9R, and on the opposite end you've got one of these. It's a bit smaller, but I've got a spare one of these and it actually fits this end. So I think it's going to try and bodge it a little. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's get some more measurements. Goes from 550 up to 600. This goes from 540 up to 580, so you actually got a bit more of a gap on this one, a larger gap, so I guess it's a bit more of a window for your fitting your chain and sprockets. So that's all good for me, all lining up fine. Now let's try and get it in the frame and see how the shock absorber lines up. Here we are. This is now the final sorry, I got a bit naughty. I got the old spray can out and sprayed it, just because anyway, I've ruined it now because I've got to take that paint off to do the whole frame. Here we are, ZX10R 0405 edition swing arm fitted to the ZX9R C1/C2 frame, and you can see close up it's all got the linkages. They're all in, dry fitted, well just kind of hand tight with all the bolts. That shock absorber is actually a ZX6R 2007/2008 model. I do have an original 9R shock absorber to go in there, but that's the kind of look I'm going for the shorter, because I think it clears the brace swing arm better. So it's the same measurements as a 9R, so it can just stay in there. I don't know if the spring's going to be any good, but we'll get to that when it's all up and running. But there we are, ZX10R swing arm fitted to this. Now I can tell you this. So here's an original spindle for here. Okay. The only difference I have to make is that this washer that goes in the inside of the frame on the 9R, it needs to be trimmed down a bit. Now luckily, here's one I've got earlier from the 6R swing arm, so that's probably 1mm too thick. So I'm going to have to take that back to my mate and stick it on his lathe and just shave off 1mm off that washer, and then it all fits pucker. So there we are. That's your proof. And the difference between the old 6R swing arm is that the chain didn't look like it lined up perfectly with the runners and the front sprocket, but this one, because it's a wider swing arm, shouldn't have any problem with that. So there we are, really happy with that. It's in, it's all lining up very nice. Just needs a proper good rub down and spray job now, and then it can be fitted. The whole frame needs doing next. I've got to get on that in the next week or two, because that's the old one. I ain't got around to doing it yet, but there we are, all blacked out. It's going to look superb. And also I've got a wheel as well. I've got a wheel. Here's my 10R wheel, lovely jubbly. It's come with a slick tyre, eBay jobs, 10-year-old slick tyre on it, but there we are. Thank you. So it's the swing arm swap, and now finally, out of 4 swing arms, we have one that is complete. Mind you, apart from the one original, but that's not part of this project. We want this braced, lovely, bringing this bike into the 2000s. There we go. So thank you very much. Let's hope we get some more progress soon. See you soon. Thank you. I'd just quickly like to say a big thank you to 1 or 2 of the viewers that gave me some information on this swing arm, and I appreciate it very much. It saves me scouring the internet for some more information. They gave me information on the chain and stuff, so that's good. Thank you very much. You know who you are. Cheers.